Hey, everybody. Welcome to All Things Small Business. I'm Denise Smith, your host, and I've got two great guests that we're going to be talking to tonight. Stay tuned, go tell a friend, and join the conversation. Welcome back to All Things Small Business. I'm Denise Smith, your host, and tonight my first guest is no stranger to the people of Prince George's County. I had the pleasure of serving as a co-media host with her a few years back at the State of the City for Seat Pleasant, the Smart City of Excellence. We had so much fun, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a great guest, Miss Dr. Renee Allen, otherwise known as the People MC. Hey, lady.
Hello.
How are you? It's been so long since we talked to each other.
It has been, Denise, and I too had a wonderful time at the co-hosting for that smart city.
For Mayor Eugene Grant, City of Seat Pleasant, the Smart City of Excellence. I know, and I mean, we've seen each other a couple of times since then. Tell me what's been going on with you. You know, I hear you've got some exciting news.
Well, I got a lot of things going on. Thank God. I don't know if you can hear the echo, but I'm going to try to ignore it. I am just so grateful to make it out of this pandemic. Let's
start there. Yes.
Yeah. So,
I know. I think this is just one thing that everybody just cannot wait for it to be behind us, right?
Yes.
So what's been going on with you though? Because the pandemic ain't stopping you from doing anything.
No, ma'am. I thank God for that. You know, Denise.
And see,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, listen, we all know you as the People's MC. So who is the People's MC?
There's a lot behind the People's MC. First of all, I'm the oldest of three girls. And so the pecking order has made me accountable for women. So as I grew up, my sisters and my cousins and people around us, I was always in charge. So it parlayed into my adulthood in a positive way, because now I want to be accountable for women. I want to inspire, encourage, support, and edify women who deserve that, you know?
Yeah.
So the People's MC, I just love to make people happy. When I got the mic, I've had the mic since about 4 years old. I enjoy making the entire room around me shine and feel good and leave feeling better about themselves.
Okay, so, I mean, there's a lot to it. So what does it mean to be the People's MC? I mean, you are out here in the community and you're doing a lot, and you just made the cover of this fabulous magazine. Tell us about that.
But that's how, Pam Perry, I met at the Power Network 10 years ago. Love her. And so she called and asked if I could cover because she saw me as someone doing a lot for the community, a lot for women, and I was honored. I'm still so privileged to be the scene cover.
Yeah. And what was the name of the magazine?
It's called Speakers.
Yeah. So where's that based? And where's that magazine based? And how did they approach you? And what did you have to say to people about being a speaker out here? Because that's what you do, right? And you do it so well.
Yes. Ultimately, I received my honorary doctorate for 33 years of youth advocacy. So I've been speaking to the youth primarily for almost 35 years. And I'm an advocate for human decency for women and families, which includes human race. So speakers, one of our dear friends, Cheryl Wood, has been on the cover, and she is the ultimate, speaker, speaking everywhere. Myself, I speak sporadically. What I ultimately do is MC amazing events, put on amazing events. I have a radio show, The People's MC, Renee Allen and Friends, and I do a lot of projects behind the scenes. Unbeknownst to some people, I'm not always on the front stage or on the mic, and I'm doing a lot more of that these days.
Okay, so what's the most recent project you've been working on?
The most recent project. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so much, but let me tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm involved in the public relations for the celebrity boxing match in Atlantic City. So I'm going there and partnering with Rockabella, and it's going to be amazing. A dear friend of mine, Kalela Ali, she was the wife of Muhammad Ali, the second wife, I believe. And a lot of us are meeting there to just have some fun with celebrity boxing. So that's something I most recently was involved in. I have a few book projects going on, about 7 of them.
Okay, 7. Okay, just a few.
Yes, and the most recent one is Mind Over Matter with Teresa McGuire, and that's about mental health. I put a chapter in reference to that, and Always Sisters, Sisterhood with Sisters Network, which people know I've been involved with for 12 years or so, and I'm one of the officers, That's coming out within the next month. And I'm doing a wonderful project with Janet Stevens Cook. And we're not going to disclose the title yet because we're not done, but it is something that women need to hear and need to be honest about in dealing with other women.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me more.
I will.
When the book comes out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So who have you been talking to these days? I know you've got your show and everything, and we're really big. You and I think we're really big advocates for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And who have you been in touch with lately?
There's a lot of people that I talk to on a regular basis, and I'm so privileged to have a nice tribe. But one person that I talk to quite a bit is Jasmine Scola. She is the real deal, not only a friend, but a mentor, and we talk quite often. I've been talking to Dr. Lance London for about 4 decades.
Lance London, the Carolina Kitchen.
Yes, where you can cook chicken and much more. And it's been dealing more with Nevada, which is a pet product.
Okay.
And so Mike, I won't put people on the spot, but I love, Karen Marie Austin, another great friend of mine. We finally got together last week, had a glass of wine, had to see her all during the pandemic.
And you also do, so I'm on the advisory board for the Women of Prince George's, which is an organization that provides training and resources for women entrepreneurs what kind of work have you done with this organization lately?
Well, I know Stephanie quite well, and I've attended at least 3 or 4 of her events, but haven't worked with her lately. But as far as women in general, I have been working with a project with Sean Shaw. An app that's going to be coming out, and I guess I'll at least her to talk about it. And I'm also working with Teresa Rowe for Heels and Motivation. We're going to be bringing that to the DC area in the latter part of August. We're working on that right now. That's going to be amazing.
Okay, what's involved with that?
Well, Heels and Motivation. Well, first and foremost, I met her doing Sister for Sister 2.0.
Okay.
And in that interview, we became friends. Mm-hmm. And she shared with me some things in her book. She talked about Mommy's Boyfriend, which is a little bit of a sensitive subject. And we were just talking, became friends. And she gave this huge event in Miami. And anything dealing with women, I'm excited for, even if I can attend. And I was like, yay for you. So she said, well, come to the one in Georgia. So I did a few weeks ago. And so we collaborated and decided to bring it here to the DC metro area. And it's about heels and motivation. We wear these beautiful heels for ourselves, for our men, for the public, for the stage. We make our legs look beautiful, but there are a lot of pain involved with that sometimes. So we endure a lot of pain and our resilience and becoming the women that we are. So that's more or less what it means.
So, and are we talking about how to relieve that pain? Because heels are painful. It's painful. It can be painful to be cute, right?
Yes. Yes. It is painful to be cute.
It can be painful to be cute.
Eyelashes are painful right now.
Mm-hmm.
But as women, I'm wearing them because it's your image. We all want to look our best. I see those new glasses on you, and I love them.
Thank you.
So it's all about showing up, showing up the best that you can, and being the best person that you can.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And as women, we have to really lift each other up.
Yes.
Instead, because the world by itself is going to try to tear you down. We have really, there's a lot of talk about now about how we women have to stick together, because before we didn't, and we as women, we endure so much, and society expects so much more of us, and we're not as recognized. It's only until now that we are beginning to be really recognized for the contributions that we have made over time, for a long time in history. What kind of conversations are you having, in that realm? Because I know you're involved in a lot of motivational speaking and a lot of different organizations. What kind of organizations can women get involved in to be able to really network and begin to really, lift each other, not only lift each other up, but support one another?
Well, what that means to me, women, Dr. George C. Fraser, a mentor of mine, and friend, he talks about each decade, women and people becoming better, different. You're not the same you are at 20 that you are at 30, 40, 50. And so I give women a lot of leeway, because you find some women are giving, serving, jealous, insecure, not insecure. You catch women at different decades, right? Mm-hmm. And so being the oldest of 3 girls and having that empathy for women, I'm good to all women, even women that may not be good to me. And I suggest women, the listeners, listening in today, just be good to women. You don't know where they're at in life. You don't know what they've gone through. It wasn't until I was in my 30s that I realized my shine, my glow, because up until around 32, unfortunately, I wasn't aware of this, but women in general, when I walked in the room, would try to dull my shine, would try to move me out of the way. And I never could understand it. It would hurt my feelings. But one day it popped up, and this was through PMA, Positive Mental Attitude, posted things through one of my mentors, Charles, Scott. And he just said, "It's not your business to worry about them. You walk in, you close the door behind you, and you shine. You shine so bright, everybody can see what's going on. Even in their,
Yeah, and but you know what? Let's skip over to business, because you used to do a lot of reporting on business, especially women in business, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, it started in the military. I was a corpsman, which is medical. I worked in the emergency rooms, and which is an official, personality for journalism. But
Right.
as I worked on Black History Month and Latin History Month and all types of things, they asked me to MC and get involved. So what I found in dealing with the different types of women is, just in my opinion, I'm going to be real transparent about this. When I walk in a room and I feel any kind of tinge, even some type of whatever it is, insecurity about someone, or think someone has it going on, I go right straight to that person and give them a compliment, or ask them who they are. That's how I break my barrier, because I'm deeply, I don't turn it to negative or turn to my friend and who she thinks she is and all this nonsense. I turn mine to positivity, so I can learn and I can continue to grow. And that's what I suggest every woman to do.
Yeah. What do you think some of the challenges that women have to face? I mean, because we play so many different roles, we wear so many different hats. I don't want to take away anything from the men, right? But we have to be so much more, and not really even I don't want to say get credit, but we're not recognized for the things that we have to produce, particularly in women in business, right? So yes. What kind of, you've done, like you said, you did a lot of reporting on women in business. What kind of challenges do you think that female entrepreneurs face today versus back then, when you worked more with them and talked more about it?
Well, I'll tell you, whether it's back then or future. Well, let me give you an example. When I worked on the Women's History Report and News Channel 8 with Alvin Jones, I spoke with phenomenal business owners that had like millions in their budget, some billions. And so I would speak with them, talk to them, when I was interviewing them offset. And one of the common threads was that they weren't taken as serious as their male counterparts. So in my opinion, just like Blacks have to work 3 times harder to prove themselves in the same arena of other races, women seem to have to deal with that as well. And so I think that, first of all, I think, we're a little bit more organized than the average male, just the way that we were born, I believe, and when you're 14 or 15, it just seems like women are smarter at that age, so, look, I don't want any bad hate mail from you guys.
Look, I see Keith in the waiting room over there shaking his head in agreement.
And that changes as we get older. And Black men, by the way, wait to hear what he has to say. But Black men are the most brilliant, strong, courageous, beautiful creatures on this earth. And the first man I fell in love with was my father. So I was able to love men instead of degrading them as some women do. And I think that's because of some of the upbringing, or maybe a bad divorce. Ladies don't do that. Our Black men, they are dealing with a global conspiracy and hunting them down and trying to make them extinct or locked up or killed. And so we have to really be careful as to how we treat them. And I'm going to have a treat at the end of this. My partner and I are doing.
Yeah. Handle them with care.
Yes, girl.
All Okay, so what's next for the People's MC? What you got? What can we see in the coming weeks from Renee, Dr. Renee Alice?
Denise Smith, I am open to whatever God has in store. Bam, boom, bam. But I am doing something with a partner, Bruce Communications, Bruce Branch, affectionately known in Prince George's County. He and I have got together, and we are giving an inaugural event called 48 Men of Power at the Blue Dolphin August 20th. And so we are finalizing a lot of things now. But we had a conversation at the Blue Dolphin months and months ago, and it was very heavy in regards to Black men. And I wanted to show y'all this Keep Smiling book that I did with Ken Rashawn, and it deals with women in empowerment, color edition. And he was like, well, why don't we do something for the men? And I said, yes. Because I have a Black son. So I'm always motivating and trying to inspire Black youth, boys and girls. So we'll have that up in the event tonight. We'll be a special guest. There'll be a lot of testosterone in the room. And we're going to celebrate Black men as they should be.
That's awesome. That sounds like an awesome event. Where can they go to find more information about that?
Well, the event will be up. But you can, I guess you can email me if you like, Renee Allen and friends at gmail.com. But it'll be up in about a week and a half. And guess who's one of the men, Lucy?
Yeah, I guess it's going to be on. You'll be posting it on your Instagram, right?
That as well, but I want you to guess who is one of the 48 men. Want me to tell you?
You said what? You want me to guess? You want me to guess? What'd you say?
Dr. Dula.
Oh, Prince George's County's very own. Yes. Oh, that is awesome. Yes.
That's one of them.
Yes, he's the head of the county's Department of Veteran Affairs.
Yes, God bless him.
He's such a great supporter. He's such a great supporter of Prince George's County and, the community. That's great. That's wonderful. Oh yes, please send me that information when you get it, and we can share it.
I will. And since we're talking about Dr. Dula, he was the executive director for Nia Imani Choices for years. And just this past January, I was honored to take the torch of Dr. Dula and became the executive director. So we're doing some great things there too.
Oh wow! Okay, wonderful. You have to let us know let us know, all the information, and we can share the information so that everybody can find out where to go. That sounds like a great event, and send me the information on the new organization as well. Renee, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much. Yes, and congratulations on getting on the cover of Speakers Magazine. I need to grab me a copy. And but we'll be talking to you soon, and make sure that we'll be keeping up. We'll follow up with you and see where you're headed next.
Thank you, and you are amazing. Best to you as well with Level Up and all things small business. And I'm looking forward to hearing from people who stay on and listen on.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. All right.
God bless you.
Okay. All right. My next guest, man, he's got a company that produces something that I haven't heard of in Prince George's County yet. So I'm hoping that he's going to bring his technology down here. My next guest is Keith McGuire with K-Mass Solutions. And we're going to be talking about how to do business and how to do it right, and what his latest project is. Hello, Keith. How are you?
Hello, Denise. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. So what you got going on here? K-Mass Solutions. Tell us about K-Mass Solutions.
Well, so K-Mass Solutions were a medical and health service in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. But we have three core capabilities. One is the medical and health services. The other one is technology integration of innovative solutions, and then professional solutions.
Okay, and so I heard about this latest project, but before we get to that, can you talk to me about how long has KMass Solutions been in business, and what made you even want to be a business owner?
So, like most things that have occurred in my life, occurred by accident. It wasn't something that I ever planned out. So I spent 23 years.
That's the best time.
That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. So I retired from the Army after 23 years in about 2015.
Oh, wow. 2015. Well, thank you for your service.
And you're welcome. You're welcome. And so I got a job as a contractor. And because of my previous work in the government, I was a partner in one company, and I helped out other small businesses. And then during that, I kind of go, no, what? I think I kind of want to have my own business also. So I started my own business. I was affiliated with four businesses, and I had a day job. Okay. So after a while, I realized that was not going to work. That was too many things going on. So at the end of 2018, I resigned from my day job. So I can focus on my company. You know, so people talk about paying activities. So being in the medical and health services, the pandemic really the company, right? Because we were able to pivot within our space, and quickly respond and provide medical and test kits to our customers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and well, let's talk about that, because you recognize that you had to pivot. But when this pandemic came down, you know, what were you thinking? And I'm talking about in terms of your business, right? Because, you know, quite often so many things can take you by surprise, and you can be going in one direction, and then all of a sudden there's this wrench that tries to wreck your program, right? So what were you thinking, and at what point did you say, okay, we got to go in this new direction?
Well, you know, so we were already in the medical area, but we weren't necessarily into medical equipment and PPE. But because of the pandemic, we kind of quickly started to look for opportunities. And really, I will tell you this, you know, I can sit here and tell you that I wasn't that at all. It was just people and opportunity meeting at the same point that allowed me to kind of connect the dots and quickly find suppliers and found customers, and was able to successfully execute on several contracts.
Okay, and okay, so now I heard about this project that you have about
the robot.
A robot.
The robot.
Yes.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Right. So what I did for the military, was capability development. You have a gap that you're trying to fill, and you find the capability to fill that gap. So within the context of COVID, right? We were looking at what are other technologies that we can leverage to help people, the workforce, families, employees feel better about coming back to the workplace. So one of the things that we found and we developed to meet our needs was a autonomous disinfecting robot that kills COVID, SARS, viruses, bacteria up to 99.9%. So it's autonomous in regards to humans in the area. You can pre-program it up to 30 different zones. You can have it run during hours or after hours. It has a UV light and a disinfecting fog and the fog can be used in and around people. And it has optical avoidance, so it could work. It would drive up to you, see you, stop, and go around you. It's still clean, right?
It's still clean, right?
So all these are capabilities that will allow businesses to maintain a safe environment, right? Because even before COVID, we still had viruses and bacteria in the workplace or in schools that we just kind of wished away, right? So this is really, in my mind, something that goes beyond COVID. COVID just kind of brought things to light. So that was one of our customers, and the other one is our indoor air quality detection solution that is able to monitor the air quality of a building, office building, of a school, and will be able to tell you if the air quality is right for a COVID-19 spread or detection of presence of any other kind of bioaerosols, to include viruses and bacteria and other pathogens. And you're able to get ahead of that and monitor the air quality of your space.
Okay, and so let's talk about hold on one second. Okay, let's talk about the business side of things, because that sounds like a technology, or your company sounds like a company that is a perfect fit in the government contracting sphere. Are you in the government space right now?
Yes, we are. And that's initially is our space, really, is the federal government space.
And so, did you start out that way, and how did you get into that government contracting arena? Is that always been, has the government purchasing and those sorts of things, is that always where your business fell?
Yes, it is. So what I did when I was in the government was program management and acquisitions. So I was used to government contracting, because I did it on the government side as far as managing contractors and developing programs and capabilities for the Department of Defense. But I will tell you this: people think it's easy. It's not easy at all. I thought it was easy once I left the military to transition over and start a company, and opportunities and contracts would just fall in my lap. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. It's been a long journey. I learned a lot about this side of the business. But I would say probably my biggest lesson learned is about people, because I realized that I've been probably lived in a very sheltered life by being in the military, because it's an organization that has values, characters, and then you get out in the real world and people are not naturally that way. So yes, I've always been in the federal government space, but my first opportunity was actually at the state level, not the federal level. Sorry?
Was that the state of Maryland?
Yes, the state of Maryland. Yes.
Okay. So what do you attribute to, the success? Because like you said, it's when you try to enter the government contracting space, you're not all of a sudden going to just start winning contracts, right? What was your strategy, and what do you attribute to successfully being able to do business?
Well, my strategy obviously has changed over the last 5 years, because I've gotten a lot smarter about how to do it. But I think the common theme really is to surround yourself around people of character, people of integrity, and find partners that are also that way, and then find a good mentor. So that would be personally for yourself, but also as a company, because there are a lot of things that you think you might know, but you really have no idea until you go through it. And some of the learning curves can be quite painful.
And so in the government space, how do you identify your customers, or essentially which agencies buy what you sell? How do you go about identifying your?
Well, so part of that really is taking the time to do your homework, right? To look at what departments you think would be interested in your product or service or capability. Understand how they buy, when they buy. You find out what companies are already in that space, because especially when you are starting off, this goes back to the humbling experience, to where you need good partners, and you need a partner that is already proven. So you find good partners, and you utilize try to utilize the small business office for that agency.
Okay. What about certification? Are you certified?
Yes, we are a service. Yes, we are a service on small business and a hub zone company. And certifications are also very important, but by having a certification by itself doesn't guarantee work, right? So it's that circle, right? They want you to, they want you to have past performance, and you have to get work to get past performance. So that's why surrounding yourself around great companies that share your values and your interests to help stand you up is really critical, because this is a team sport.
You touched on something something that I think is very critical, that certification doesn't get you the work by itself. There's a lot of research, there's a lot of homework that you have to do. There's a lot of relationship building that you have to do. You don't just get certification, because Maryland's certification process is 3 to 5 months. I know in Prince George's County it's 15 days, but just having the certification doesn't get you the contract. You have to compete, and you have to be competitive, right? What are some of the things that you had to learn going through that process? Because I'm quite sure you didn't start off as a prime contractor. And I don't know if you're a prime contractor now, but there's steps that you take, and it's a process, and it takes time, and it just doesn't happen overnight. What's your experience?
Yeah, I would say, I've heard it before, right? You have to get comfortable. I'm not saying with failure, that's probably a wrong word, but you have to be okay with people telling you no, because that's part of your journey, that's part of the process, and you're going to learn a lot more as you go through it, and you try to figure out how to get where you need to be, and some of that is having a tough skin, but it goes back to finding really be able to focus in on what you want your company to do and what you think you are good at, right? And that may start off on a very narrow scope, and that is what you take to other companies, to other proven companies, as far as trying to get on a team and to establish some kind of relationships. They will look at you not only for your service, but also for your capability.
Yes, past performance is definitely key. But some people, when they're just getting started, the question becomes, how do you even get past performance? How do you prove past performance?
And that's where becoming a subcontractor. And then the way to do that really is about relationships. So you have to go go to these events, meet other companies, and don't look at them as adversaries, because they're not. And the ones that are adversaries, you probably don't want to partner with anyway, right? So you want to begin to network and to find other companies, because at the end of the day, they're not bringing you on because of your company. They're bringing you on because of you.
Yeah. Yes. That's very important. That's an important point there. Oftentimes it's more so about your character, and they'll teach you. They'll show you things along the way, right? But it's not. It goes with that whole. It's not necessarily what you know; it's who you know, kind of thing.
And I would tell you, I didn't really believe that. When I started, but I'm a believer now.
Mm-hmm. So do you mentor other companies or entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So one of the things that we want our company to be is being part of our community, right? So one of the programs that I'm in actually is Leadership Baltimore County, which I'm class of 2021, in which we look at the county as a whole, from civic, health, education, public safety, and that's a great avenue and great program. But also too is to provide mentorship to our youth, but also to other veterans, right? Because of the things I thought I knew coming out of the military to what I've actually learned the hard way. I don't want people to have to go through that. So mentorship for us is very important, and I love the opportunity to always meet with people, to ask, and for them to ask me questions, because I can tell you I'm very upfront, and I'll tell them, hey, this is what I did and was wrong. Don't ever do this.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's I think it's really important to have mentors in your life. I know you stated this before, but to have, especially in business, because but I think the main thing for me is, if you are someone who needs a mentor, you have to make sure that you're going to be coachable, because there's people that are out here, and business owners that are out here who have been there, done that, gone through it, tried and failed, and can save you a lot of time and a lot of trouble and a lot of heartache, because your business is your baby. And if you take things in the wrong direction, you can find a lot of disappointment. So you're right, the tough skin, mentors can help in those areas. And I'm you're the first person that I've actually heard of Leadership Baltimore, because I'm in Leadership Prince George's. So, and we focus on those same areas, finding out all the little things about the county and what's important, those core areas, and how you can build up, and you're building it. That's one place to start a network. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I know there's what about like becoming members of the chamber? Are you a member of your Chamber of Commerce? Or other business organizations?
Yes. We are a member of the Baltimore Chamber of Commerce, and also the Howard County Chamber of Commerce. And you're right; those are two great organizations, or organizations to be a part of, to learn more about the businesses within your own space, but also within the county.
Okay. So did you say that you're based in Baltimore City, or you're based in Baltimore County?
Baltimore City.
Baltimore City. Okay. All right. So when do you plan to, and did I hear you say that you are a veteran-owned business, certified veteran-owned business? Are you certified with the VA?
Certified veteran-owned, certified service, and verified hub zone.
Okay, so that means that you are automatically qualified to be certified in Prince George's County also as an MBE. So if you join their MBE program, because their MBE program is based on reciprocity. So if you're certified with the Department of Veteran Affairs as a veteran-owned company, you can also come down here in Prince George's County and get some of those preference points too. And your technology sounds
I'll be there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you may not get as much as a business who's actually headquartered in Prince George's County, but there is business to be made, and it sounds like your technology is something that potentially we could use down here.
Yeah, most definitely. Every school, I think, every school should have the air quality management. Hospitals, citizens shouldn't go to hospitals to get sick, right? And unfortunately, although we go there for health, and I don't want to pick on hospitals, but people go to hospitals and they come out with bacteria or viruses.
Don't pick on the hospitals. Don't pick on the hospitals.
Hey, we're in medical. We're in medical. At the end of the day, we're about ensuring that everyone in that space is well taken care of, to include the first responders, nurses, doctors, physicians, people in the waiting room. Are you on mute?
Am I on mute? Oh, yes, I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah. So listen, I want to thank you. What's next for KMAS Solutions?
So what's next? We've expanded our footprint some. So we have an office in Texas. We have an office overseas now, and we're looking at expanding and providing cutting edge medical capabilities and healthcare to parts of Africa and those other countries that are a little bit less fortunate.
So you mentioned you're doing business in Texas. That sounds great. But you mentioned you're doing business in Texas. Now, when you go to Texas, were you able to, are you certified in Texas too? Because your Maryland certification is transferable. Did you use it that way as well?
No. For Texas, again, because our focus has been at the federal level, our federal and DOD level, not so much with the state.
Okay, gotcha.
Although, thank you for bringing that to my attention, and we'll put that on a near-term calendar.
Yeah, see, now you can go to the state of Texas and not just be, federal government is great, and that's just not my expertise. My expertise is right here in the great old state of Maryland and Prince George's County. But I do know that you can take your MBE certification from the state of Maryland and apply with any other state and get MBE or DBE, whatever, depending on which certification they issue, and get certified that way as well. And then you could just start doing business with that state.
And thank you very much. That's definitely good.
I'm surprised you didn't know that already. You sound like you already got it going on.
Well, I probably did. But my focus again was at the federal level. But
yeah,
some things you got to hear 2 or 3 times. Yeah, right. You need to go back and do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So listen, if people wanted to find out more about KMAS Solutions, where do they go?
They can go to.
Look at that. Let me just tell them.
KMASSolutions.com.
Listen, Keith, thank you so much for joining me today and for talking about your business and for giving a little advice, sharing a little advice for entrepreneurs who will view this video for days to come. So thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best of luck and success in your business.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I love your first guest. I hope to meet her. She was very profound. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about KMAT Solutions and what we're doing and what we can do for the great state of Maryland.
Absolutely. Thanks again, and take care. And we'll check back in with you sometime soon. Okay.
Please do.
All right. All right. Look, this is my music that I forgot to turn on in the beginning. But I want to thank everybody for. Let me take that off. So I want to thank all of my guests, Keith McGuire from KMAT Solutions and Renee Allen, for the People's MC at drreneeallen.com. Make sure to join me here again next Thursday at 6 p.m. I will be talking to some more phenomenal business owners so that they can share the wealth of advice that they have. So, we can learn from other people's mistakes and other people's triumphs. So thank you again. This is All Things Small Business. Every Thursday, 6 p.m., Facebook, YouTube, Live. I'll see you next week.